SummerSlam. All champions retained. The Wyatt Six was not on anybody's card to win in the ladder match. Candice LeRae gets the spot of the weekend. And Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, is back. All of that today. Welcome to another episode of Growing Up Kayfabe. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Before we get started, as always, please go down to the show notes down below. Hit the timestamps. Go to exactly where you want to go. I know recently it's just been a little too timestamp type deal, but your boy's trying to pump these out, trying to compete with everybody else, trying to get the thoughts and the content out as it goes. So show notes down below, timestamps for you. Hit the like button, comment, talk wrestling with me. Share this out to a wrestling friend or family member in your life. And thanks again for watching. Now, it's subscribe. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. It's all free. Everything that's there, and just click it in a row. So, SummerSlam, Day 2, MetLife, New Jersey, New York, the Giants, the Jets. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about this, and I want to start at the ladder match because I've heard too many people talking about it was overbooked, it was way too much. The only negative that came from that, which was that it was just nobody in the world. I was listening to tons and tons of speculations and thoughts and bookings of people's own of who's going to win that ladder match. And a surprise consensus was Andrade and Rey Fenix. Everybody was like, why not? Fuck it. But the thing is not a single person was picking the Wyatt Six. I'm sure there was some people out there. I'm sure they're out there, but most majority of YouTubers, commentators were not even remotely thinking the Wyatt Six to win this one. And at the end, with everybody's interference, it made the most sense because they have the most people to back them for interference. So, sure, it makes a lot of sense. And there's nothing wrong with the Wyatt Six winning. I just don't think that it was what most people anticipated and probably wanted, if I'm being honest. But that being said, it takes away nothing from the match entirely. The spot with Andrade and Rey Fenix, where Rey Fenix jumps on top of Andrade's shoulders to try to get the belts. The spot where everybody had a table spot outside of the ring. Ray, Dawkins was the Dawkins. Every time Dawkins does something, I'm like, bro, you just had kids. Just this passing year, just had 2 kids. Come on, bro. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, the spot, and I'm going to take a little bit of time here to talk about this spot. The Candice LeRae spot, okay? When they put that ladder across from the ring to the announce table, right? Everybody knows. Everybody knows if you watch wrestling, even if you don't watch wrestling, you're like, why'd they just leave that there? If you don't watch wrestling, you're like, why'd they just leave that there? And if you watch, you go, that ladder's somebody's going through that ladder, right? Because nobody ever goes through it immediately. It just sits there for a little bit, and then you go, yeah, somebody's going through that thing. So, we're speculating when is it going to happen, wondering how is this going to happen. Again, SummerSlam was, I don't care what anybody says, if anybody's trying to tell you they had this shit booked to a T, they're wrong. Nobody saw Candice LeRae going through that thing. Notoriously on this podcast, we talk shit about Candice LeRae. And I'm not saying that everything has changed now. I still stand by a lot of my feelings on Candice LeRae, but I will say that I gained mountains of respect for her. And I always say when I say these things, disclaimer, I know these wrestlers don't need this from dudes in a room talking into a microphone about their wrestling ability. But just as somebody who I want to be a fan of anybody wrestling. But if I can't connect with you and I don't like the way your style is and I don't see much anything of substance to me for you, then I'm not going to be a fan. But Candice LeRae today, or on this day, going through that ladder, getting tipped over, Montez with the bug eyes freaking out like, what did I just do? Because it was them who accidentally tipped her over into the ladder. It's what most people have talked about. Everybody, when they're talking about the ladder match, the TLC match, they're thinking all these things, and they go, Candice LeRae went through a fucking ladder that from the top. That was crazy. Way crazier than the fact that the Wyatt Six actually won. That was a big momentum killer. There was times where other people were going for it, and it's what's kind of fun about the ladder matches is there's moments when there's multiple people, you have those moments when they're reaching for it, and you yourself start to feel if you really want these people to win or not. Because you feel it in the moment because you're like, go, and that's how I felt every time Andrade and Rey Fenix were going for it. So it is what it is. I don't know. I think everybody will be okay with this Wyatt 6 push if it's an actual push and we're actually going to get more TV time, more of everybody, an actual storyline with people, more vignettes like how it was when they were coming out, when it was very exciting to watch all their cool vignettes and storytelling. If we can get back to that, then this is a fine booking choice. But otherwise, man, that was a big bummer. A lot of people did not like that or see that coming. I think match of the night would have to go to it would have to go to the opening of Naomi, Rhea, and Io, which it's just typical news for Rhea right now. She's like, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber, whatever it is, you put me in it, I am going to make the best match. And it helps a lot that she has Io and Naomi, like all these matches she's doing, like with Bianca, Io, Naomi, Io. Again, it's pretty constant with her and Io being in it, making it one of the greatest matches. But it truly, when I saw that was the opening, I was like, that's a brilliant move. And as everybody likes to do right now, shouts out to Naomi. Awesome entrance with her father playing her in on guitar. Great storytelling background telling by Michael Cole. A beautiful moment that I just don't think a lot of wrestlers get to have. It was very cool for Naomi. Naomi's getting a lot of things that she deserves right now, including retaining. Shouts out. The other match that would be right up there with it, AJ Styles and Dirty Dom. I mean, it's the anniversary of the ladder match for Dominic Mysterio, for the adoption papers for Dom between Eddie and Ray. AJ comes out in the lowrider with his son, who looks like Dom when he was a kid, and has the same gear from that year too. It was art. I don't want to say cinema. It was art. The way that they both did Eddie betrayals, that most people don't do homages in the way. Most everybody just does the, Three Amigos, Frog Splash, call it a day. But they did a lot from the cheating style of Eddie, and a lot of his different mannerisms that they did in the match. And the fact that Dom did one that doesn't commonly get done when people try to do the Eddie stuff, which is the boot getting loose and being able to use that boot against AJ to pick up the win. That's great. AJ himself is putting in some of the best work that he has done in WWE in a long time. And Dom's obviously right there. So that was a no-brainer money match for me. Dom retains because AJ needs to go on and start doing win or lose. I think obviously you don't want to make this man lose a bunch. So, but wins and losses along the way. Like we say here, as long as he's at Clash in Paris, that's all that matters. AJ Styles, Clash in Paris, babyface. Who knows? Put him in a triple threat. I don't know. Make it happen though, Paul. I won't lie. It felt like some of the other matches were rushed. Like Solo versus Jacob for a cage match felt rushed. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like that just came in. Same for Dom and AJ. Like Dom and AJ, like it felt like it was going on, then it was just over. And I think they said like it was like a 10-minute match for them or something for like Solo and Jacob. That's way too short for that. I don't know. That was kind of a bummer the way that match ended, but I'm happy with Solo retaining. I'm not gonna lie. All day long, his like dun 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 bum 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 bum. I'm taking it all. I mean, it's hard to say that it doesn't go harder than Jacob's song. I don't know. It's hard. They both give me 17 more matches with Solo and Jacob just so I can jam out to their entrances. Just do that. I don't care. I'm here for the fun, babe. I'm here for the music. As long as it's not Def Rebel. And I am calling myself out on what my family calls me out on right now with loving the music that much. That's insane. Okay. So, I said it as it was happening. I like Lyra Valkyria. I like NXT Lyra Valkyria, I think, the most. I don't know if I'm just not seeing what other people are seeing when some people talk about how like good she is with the crowd And in general, like, I'm aware that she is an incredible wrestler. She has an awesome finishing move. She has great presentation. I don't relate to her character very much. I don't relate to her character work. I don't believe what she does quite often when it comes to character work. So I just maybe I'm just not, maybe there's something I'm missing. But for that reason, as it was happening, I was like, unless Lyra's turning heel, which I don't see happening, I want Becky to win. Exactly what happened. It might be still Lyra turning heel after Bayley did all this, and now Lyra's gonna be like, yo, you cost me my shit, and Bayley's gonna be like, yo, calm down. Or it can go the other way where Lyra's gonna be like, yo, you cost me my shit, and Bayley's gonna be like, you never had your shit, dog. Like, I had to come in there and straighten out business for me. It's about me now. So one way or the other, you can heel turn one of them. But if you want people to tune in for a heel turn, you heel turn Bayley. But then you have, whoa, because then you have heel Becky and heel Bayley. No, that would be too much. It'd be too much. I was thinking about bringing back the 4 horsewomen, you know, because there was that moment and Becky like did the whole like, don't forget we're the 4 horsewomen, like. But I don't know, that might be too much of a stretch for everything. But who knows? Who knows? WWE's on a roll with doing the whole like, you never know. We might just pull some shit out of our hat. We don't know. Overall, though, that was a match that I was saying, I was like, it might steal the night. It might, and it didn't, but it did a damn good where it was like, I mean, I don't know. It was better than Jacob and Solo. I'd say that. I would easily tell somebody that they outperformed Jacob and Solo. Easy. They didn't outdo him in entrances, though. And shouts out to Becky's new entrance, which, guess what? Didn't get Def Rebelled. Her new song rules. It's by an actual band. Go figure. It rips. It totally rips. Now we're gonna spend a hot minute talking about this one, and I'm glad this is wrapping up as quickly as it can, because you know, this is being recorded on Monday, the Raw after SummerSlam, and of course we'll be coming to you next week to cover everything from Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. On next Monday was when that will come out. We'll be back on our regular schedule of every Monday, new episode before Raw airs. That being said, so the match itself, Cody and John, entrances, incredible. I would like to explain that Cody came out with the Dusty Rhodes quotes on the screen. I love the way that quad monitored setup was going, and then it plays this song. He comes out with a new helmet thing. It's awesome. And, you know, does his entrance, which is epic as always. The one thing that we were waiting for, the one thing that we could anticipate, was that Cody told John, I want the real John Cena. I want you talking to Stu. I want you running down that ramp. I want to see the lights and the graphic on that Jumbotron. And it was what we were all waiting for. We were like, well, is he going to do it? Will he do it? How will it look? Is it a sway? Is it not? Music starts. It's all black screen. And I said to my family, I said, if he hits the music and if he hits the graphic, I will go change into my non-heel John Cena shirt. And that black screen hit with the word John Cena on it. And the music was going. And I just sat there. I was like, that's a shame. That's a real shame. And before I could say anything else, it hits the breakdown. Everything lights up. John runs out there. He's talking to Stu. I run to my room. I put on this bad boy. Some babyface John Cena stuff right there. It was incredible. I'm hearing it explained as the almost like love letter and apology letter to the fans for WrestleMania 41, because that match was not as great as it could have been, and Travis Scott did ruin that match, and The Rock did ruin that match by not being there, and ruin everything by not being there, and it showed us like, hey, if we would have just done this at Mania, this would have been great. A straight up one-on-one between him and John, even though it's a street fight. It went about 30 or so minutes, 35 minutes, I think. I mean, John was wrestling like he put everybody to bed who's been doing the whole like, well, you know, he can't do any of the things anymore, and that's why he's really doing this. He can't hit the moves. John, he hit double attitude adjustment into avalanche. John went through tables. Cody went through tables. They were doing crazy stuff. John hit a code red on the outside of the ring. That's not something that a guy who can't do these things would do. As I'm trying to do often, I'm trying to be in the moment with these matches with John, and before he's like kind of giving everybody the spot to be like, this is in the moment, where I'm really leaning in and watching him and taking it all in to remember, as everybody should, as these next 4 months go on. This is the last time. This is no joke. This is not a work. This is not anything else besides the last time. The last time you'll see him at SummerSlam. That was the last time you saw him at Royal Rumble. That was the last time you saw him at Bash and Anything. That was the last time. And so it's kind of incredible to be able to like take it in as he's wrestling, to like really feel it, and like almost I can like watch him doing his 5 moves of doom and do like a astral kind of like projection, if I guess would be the word, to see him in the past as the US champion, as when he first became WWE champion, he was hitting those moves, and seeing him now for the last time doing it in these big time matches. I mean, I haven't said these words, kind of corny, but it's truly an honor. It makes me happy to know that I get to see this, and the way they did it, the swerve, sometimes hitting full reset is just the way to go, and it was, we can bicker and moan all we want, but it was truly the way to go, to just full reset back to babyface in this match that ensued between them. It showed. Everybody's wondering, Cody heel question mark. I'm not gonna lie, he definitely had some heel looks on his face. We sell with faces in wrestling. We tell stories with the faces, and he was in fact doing that, but in the end, he was not doing much heel stuff, to be honest with you. So everything else that he did, like the taking off the bottom rope, which was awesome, all those things was like, if anybody was being like, well, he had that real like, I'm gonna break look, I'm like, he also equally as much had a look of like regret and sadness as well, especially the last salute he gave him before he put him away with the 3 crossroads. I'm happy to see Cody be champion again. Let's make a program with him and Drew. Let's do a program with him and Randy. Let's do something with some of the top guys, but especially if you want to turn Randy heel or turn Cody heel, then you got to do it. Randy's got to be the catalyst. He has to be the one. But otherwise, do the program with him and Drew. That'll be fine. Drew will make money on anything. He prints money when he's doing programs, and him and Cody would be incredible. We all know that. The match ends. Cody and John get their passing of the torch moment. Cody's crying, of course. I don't blame him. They're saying things to each other, and John finally gives us the moment to like thank him and takes it all in the ring, and it's incredible. And then we hear the noise that nobody thought we would hear ever again. If you are watching this podcast, it's probably because you watch wrestling. Or you're my girlfriend who supports me. I appreciate that too. Something that you may or may not know is that when the Brock Lesnar entrance music hits, it means one thing and one thing only.
It's John Cena.
It means Suplex City. It means you're fucked. It means it's over. It means your dreams are dashed. It means you better run and hide, because the Beast Incarnate is gonna get you. He's gonna get you, and he's gonna suplex you. He's just gonna do it over, and he's a cowboy. Oh my gosh. Cleared officially of the Janelle Grant stuff. I honestly don't have a lot to say on that, but I know from what I do, I was following it a lot when it happened, and yes, it does seem like he was the one mentioned. It does not seem like even if he is mentioned, he wasn't somebody who did anything. In fact, he's somebody who denied wanting anything to do with any of this stuff. It just sucks by proxy, and I think that's why he's cleared now. You know, because that was the story. That if I don't know about any other speculations or telephone stories between people got worse for Brock, but the real story is that he was offered something terrible by Vince, and he said no. But he signed, so that's why people think it happened. But doesn't mean he did. He just signed for more money. So That being said, now that that's all out of the equation, I can't tell you how I was up out of my seat. I cannot explain to you guys that I never got to experience what everybody hated so much, which is the fact that when Brock's music hit, your favorite wrestler was about to lose their title. Somebody was about to lose something. And I've come to love that about Brock. And I just didn't get to, and we were supposed to get it when all the Janelle Grant stuff happened. And, he didn't get to come to the Rumble and all these things. But now we can have it. And we don't know yet how long he's going to be around. But when that guitar riff hits, and I'm going to say something about his music. I love that most people, it's a guitar riff, but even I'm not too sure. Everybody's always because they'll explain it like this, when that guitar riff hits or whatever it is, whatever. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's a guitar riff. Sound off down below if it's not a guitar riff, but I'm pretty positive it's a sick guitar riff. And when that thing opens up, everybody's reaction. There's never a reaction of fuck this guy. It's every wrestler is oh no. And then Brock comes out and he hits the every time, dude. It's so cool. It's so cool. And he hasn't missed a step. He walked on down to that ring. He walked all the way to the commentator table, stared John down, took the cowboy hat off, set it to the side, went in there, and John did what would feel like, because he's been a heel, feel like heel stuff, but he just did what any survivalist would do, which is, I gotta get a jump on him first. If Brock's coming in here and I have no way out, I gotta get a jump on this guy. John tries to go at him. Brock hits a pitch perfect F5 like he has never gone away. It's like he's been standing there doing F5s perpetually for his entire life, waiting to come back. I mean, technically he has. He hunts giant bucks, fucking tossing them on his shoulder. Firemen's carrying him up mountains because he's a Viking. And we get to have that again. We get to have him versus John Cena from the same OVW class. Randy Orton, John Cena, Batista, Brock Lesnar. Same OVW class. All some of the biggest stars, the top stars that's ever done it in the business. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. The only thing that can get bigger than this is if somehow, some way, Batista came back and did one final match with John. That'd be crazy, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. But who knows? We never thought Brock was going to happen. I'm blown away. I'm genuinely blown away. And all the statistics of, Brock, this is where Brock left last year at 2023 SummerSlam. He won against The Rock at SummerSlam. I do forget. He came back at SummerSlam to when it was John versus Roman. I mean, wow. I'm so happy. Nobody can tell me shit about this being a bad thing. This is awesome because it doesn't mean, this would be bad. Here, I'll explain why it would be bad. If you think this is bad in general, I'll explain why it's not. Because it would be bad if John, for some fucking reason, retained, and then Brock came out and was like, okay, now let's go at it for the title. That would be stupid. It would be cool because Brock's back, but it'd be stupid. It would be equally as stupid if Cody won, John walked out, and for some reason Cody's in the ring still, and Brock comes out for Cody. That would be equally as stupid. It would make a little bit of sense because of the fact that Brock put over Cody. Now Cody's champ. Brock maybe wants to do it again, but for the title, it would make sense, but it would be shitty because that would be a thing that people don't want Brock to do. But that didn't happen. Instead, John dropped the title, and now we get to have babyface John run for the 4 months. And what I like is that everybody's just immediately and now Brock's gonna make John's life hell for 4 months straight. And I'm like, that. I don't know that's how it's gonna work, but I do love that idea because that's how Brock works. Brock's like, yeah, you're done. You're done. I entered the ring. I entered the business. You're done. Does that mean we get him tonight? Probably not. We probably get him on SmackDown, but at this point, John can be on any brand. And why not? He did half his months at SmackDown. Why not come to Raw? Because I agree with my podcast Tribal Chief, Sam Roberts. What, again, Sam, I don't have a Fatu, but yeah, you know what I mean? So I do see Netflix hitting up WWE and TKO and being like, we're gonna need, I imagine it's Battle of the Networks at that point, right? Like USA's like, can we have him on Friday? And Netflix is like, that's a Monday guy thing. And I think that would be a smart thing to do when it comes to male talent. You got Punk and Rollins and as your top guys on Raw. It wouldn't hurt to have John and Brock over there feuding, because on SmackDown you got Drew, Cody, you got Randy. It's almost like and you got Roman, and you got Jacob and Solo. So it's like you got a ton of top guys over on SmackDown. That being said, though, that's SummerSlam in a nutshell, and 8 out of 10, solid 8 out of 10. Just being respectful with that, because I would love to give it a 10 out of 10, but I'm trying to be like reasonable to say that some things weren't that great at some points, and sometimes some things could have been cooler, but like overall, and shouts out to Tommaso Ciampa for hitting the Spider-Man spot. That was also crazy for the ladder match. Overall, you know what? 9 out of 10. We'll go 9 out of 10 for SummerSlam. I like the 2-day. I thought I was going to hate it. I like it. People need to suck it up. I'm so tired of like, ooh, now I have to watch wrestling 2 days in a row. Oh, man. Oh, what am I going to do? Now I have to watch it one day and then the next day? What else am I going to do but watch it like how I watch it on Monday and Friday and Tuesday? God, really, people, get a grip of yourselves. It's insane. It's not like it's UFC where it's a card every single Saturday. At least it's only like every 3 to 4 weeks, and SummerSlam 2 nights, WrestleMania 2 nights. Why not? I don't know. That's the positive side, though. Look at the brighter side here, folks. And thank you for watching this episode. Thank you for catching up with me. Let's enjoy this week of wrestling. We got a bunch of big stuff coming. We're setting up for the second half of wrestling. I'm excited. Talk about it with me down below. See you on the next one. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.